Hi felters and welcome. Today we are going to be doing the second part of my tutorial. The first part was the mushroom and now we're doing the mouse, in case you want to do things separately. So I have forwarded it as we go through, hope it's not too fast, hope you can understand it all. Subscribe, like and comment if you enjoy this video, because then I can keep making lots more. And let's get started. There we go. Right, so this is the base or the body of the mouse, so you can use any wool for this because we're going to cover it with a brown in a minute. So roll it quite tight and then start needle felting it, and it's got to fit under my mushroom, so I needed it a little bit bigger, so I'm just checking there all the time. So once you've roughly felted it, then spend a bit of time firming it up. This part is the head, so quite small, and same sort of thing, roll it up, start small and then work bigger. It's easier than starting too big because you can't take it off very well. So I'm happy with those two, so I'm going to cover them in the actual outer layer colour. Now I've used a brown. Mice can be all sorts of colour. They can be a light brown, dark brown, a grey. You could even do sort of, if you wanted to convert this into a hamster, you could do hamster colours. So I'm just doing a lightish brown. So we've done the head and we're just going to cover the body. Nice and easy to do. I'm not worrying that the shapes are exact at the moment, they're just roughly the right shape. Attach the head to the body by holding it in positions. I've got it upside down there, and that really helps sometimes when you're stabbing through. And then take some extra wool as well and wrap that round, and that will help attach it and make it nice and strong and nice and firm. So now I think I spend a bit more time just sort of firming it up and felting it neatly. And that was the bottom there I was just doing. If you needle felt down into the bottom, or upwards into the bottom if you're holding him upside down, then you'll get a nice flat bottom area for him to stand up on. This little bit is just a round sort of lump that I'm putting where the hind legs are going to be, and I've attached them both, and then I'm just going to cover the attachment so it doesn't look so joined and sharp. So there we go. And then I'm just doing a little bit more on the back of the head. I wasn't that happy with it. I think it needed to sort of look not so joined. And then covering up the other hind leg. It's really quite easy and quite simple to do. There we go. I'm happy with the height. So I'm going to do him some little feet. Oh no, we're doing tummy first. So the tummy I wanted to do in a lighter colour. I think it just looks better. You don't have to do this at all, or you could do it in a sort of not so bright colour, but I thought it just gave him a bit of definition. So this is the feet, and I'm doing them in the same colour as the tummy. And so I've just rolled I pulled a piece out, felted it a bit, folded it in half to get the edge, and then needle felted that repeatedly by rolling it backwards and forwards. So there we go, fold it in half and then backwards and forwards, and this just gives you a little round foot shape, and then attach them to the base where you want them to be. And once they're attached, you can do some little lines for toes, and I tried a little bit, but because they're so small I haven't done loads. You could even get a darker, sort of a black coloured or a brown colour, and just do little lines, but I didn't feel he needed it because they were so small. Oh, pink nose. I think this looks cute to have a little pink nose. And then we're going to do the oh, I've disappeared. Yep, getting the black wool. Then we're going to do the mouth. So that's a line, and then up from the mouth is a straight line up to the nose, where that's sort of how a mouse's mouth looks like, so it looks a lot more realistic. Ears, so you're going to make a sort of a circular shape for the ears. I did my ears quite large, it's up to you, you could do them a bit smaller, and then I put a bit of pink in them because I think that looks nice. And then I'm doing the other one, and then what you do with the ears is you pinch it and needle felt it slightly together, and then that's how you would attach them. So like I said, yeah, it's quite big mouses. You could do yours a little bit smaller. So the eyes, choose where you want to put the eyes. I am using little 4mm black plastic eyes. You don't have to buy eyes, you can just needle felt black eyes on if you don't want to have to wait to order some eyes. But they're nice and easy. And then I take a little bit of black and I place it all around the eye and it softens it. I'm going to be doing a separate video on eyes, nose, faces, facial features, just things to help you, and paws and claws and hooves. I normally do sheep, horses, cows, so this is something a little different for me. And what am I doing here? Oh, I'm attaching the ears. So that's quite easy because you've got the fluffy bit left at the base of each ear. I always leave the fluffy bits sticking out, and then that helps you attach it. And then if you need to cover up any joins at the back, you could use a little bit extra of the brown wool. So there we go, it's looking quite good. He's going to need front paws. So I've taken a pink, or you can use the same light brown as the feet, but I wanted his hands in pink. And it's the same thing, roll them over and just sort of little club hands, and then we're going to wrap those around in the brown after to give him arms. There you go. So just roll it up. It was a bit tricky doing this, but just roll it up and then start felting, and then you could put a bit more on and really strengthen the arms up a bit because they were quite loose. I don't think they need wire. I really don't. They're only small. Just needed strengthening a little bit more there. So this part is, I'm going to have my mouse holding an acorn. You could have your mouse holding anything you want. It doesn't even have to be holding anything, but I thought it was really sweet if he was holding his acorn. You could do him holding a heart. That would be really cute for Valentine's Day. So the acorn is just a oblong greeny ball. So if you just roll it up and needle felt that. And then I did a round disc, a bit bigger than the top of the ball, and I just needle felted all of that. And then I sort of forced it onto the top of the acorn, and you tack the edge down first to sort of pull it down a bit around the acorn. And needle felt the edge of it so it looks like there's the top of an acorn. And then this was tricky. I just did a tiny little bit of brown, rolled it up, left a tiny fluffy bit at the end, so made it really thin, and then needle felted the stalk of that on. It was a little bit tricky, but it's possible. There you go, you can see it just sticking up. Sorry I don't show you it a bit slower. I should learn to, when I get some better editing software, I'll slow it down in parts. So I'm just attaching the arms. I put them on first. I wanted him hugging it a little bit, and then just gently needle felt the acorn in there. And then the arms further back, just to cover up all the join marks, use a bit of extra fluff. Tail, here we go. This was a bit tricky. I did one round wire, it didn't work. I did quite a big one around a piece of wire I'd take out, didn't work. So in the end, I take a thin bit, felt it a tiny bit, and then roll it between your hands lots, and that works really well. Much easier. It was even a bit too pointy, so it's really quite thin here still, so just needle felt it again. You can even put a bit of water on your hands and then roll, and that seems to give it a nice smooth edge and a smooth finish. So there we go. So I attached the tail around the bottom, and that's just curled up around the side. So he's all done. So subscribe, like and comment if you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching. Happy felting!